Peace, my family, and we're all back to all. Those coming out at Good Cocoon for the first time, welcome. This your girl, the butterfly, and we about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all like a healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good 9 mind. All praises to the Most High, anew. L-U-L-U-L, most glorified and exalted. I hope you guys are most definitely keeping up and moving up in your higher natures and cleansing the lows. Again, all praises to the Most High, anew. L-U-L-U-L, most glorified and exalted. And again, for him sending omnipotent Jesus, Joshua and him as horse. Yes. In the blood of the Lamb. Yes. Covered in the blood of the Lamb. Yes. Oh man. What's up, y'all? I know y'all probably been like, where's she at, you know? Some people, you never know. Some people, you know, who knows? But again, I was a lot of it, under the weather. So now I can come on here and speak again. One moment. One moment. Alright now. So I came on here today to express and share another clip from our Master Teacher's book called The L's Holy Injiyl. This right here will certainly help you on this good journey within, y'all. And again, let me just say this as well, just as a reminder. As you begin to go on this good journey within, you know, scrolls, the pamphlets of peace, the writings, you know, the books. Our Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi is going to be extremely important on this good journey with him. Because again, you're going to need to know the right knowledge of yourselves and begin to raise your consciousness. It's that simple. And why are you saying you need to know this? Because again, a lot of people have been lied to. We all have been lied to about life, about who we are and where we come from and the earth and so much more. And it's on us to take heed when the messengers come. And the messengers come from the Most High. Take heed, right? We don't want to reject the messengers, right? So it's very important for you to take heed, right? And for people that may not believe, you know, certain things, everyone has a choice. Alright now. So, again, with the facts, with the science, there's no opinions in our culture. It's only facts and science. That's it. And again, we must understand that this is what's going to be needed for you to conquer this world. For sure. And so, by me saying that this is what's going to be needed for you to conquer this world. Reason being because I'm an example of getting through the right knowledge and still going, but also, you know, getting to a point where I was able to see the crafts And again, it's real. And by choice, could have been taken up, but I decided to stay a little longer. Alright now. So, I'm gonna leave it at that for now though. Okay. So let's get to the message. Okay, we're speaking on the L's Holy Injiyl, right? And if you're listening to my videos, you're scrolling through, keep listening. Stay tuned. Everything I'm putting out is what I've been through and what I've read and things that has helped me along my journey. So I'm just here to help y'all. Alright now. So it goes like this. Chapter 9. The first messenger sounds, and a star falls from heaven to earth. This is the beginning of the nuclear war. The bottomless pit is opened, and Lucas come out of the earth. The horror, verse 1. And it reads, "In the 5th of the 7th Anglos blew his trumpet, and I saw a light, like a meteorite, star fall from the rhinos on skies upon the planet Earth, and it was given the key of the bottomless pit." And it reads again. One moment. "And the 5th Melech blew, and I saw a star fall from hell's summer upon the planet Earth, and it was given the key of the bottomless pit. And the 5th of the 7th Melech blew its trumpet, and I, John, saw a light like a meteorite star fall from Samiyami upon the planet Earth, and it was given the key of the bottomless pit." And it reads again. "And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven into the earth, and to him who given the key of the bottomless pit." And it reads again. "And the 5th cherubim of destruction of the 7th Anunnaki Elohim blew his trumpet, signaling the beginning of the 5th plague. And I, John, son of Salome and Zebedee, saw an atomic bomb, which I, John, interpreted as a light like a meteorite, a star from Orion's skies, 6-star constellation upon the planet Earth, and it was given the key of the bottomless pit, being able to open up the earth. When the bomb exploded in the earth, it threw off the blast of power, appearing like fire and brimstone, because the people believed that hell was in the earth, and that's how it was recorded by John." And it reads again. "So it opened the abyss, and of the pit ascended like a dust cloud, just like the dust cloud of a great furnace, and the Helios sun was darkened in the air because of the dust cloud of the pit." And it reads again. "And so it opened the bottomless pit, and out of the pit ascended smoke of the great furnace, and the shams was darkened in the air because of the smoke of the pit." And it reads again. "And so it opened the bottomless pit, and out of the pit ascended like a dust cloud, just like the dust cloud of a great furnace, and the shaman's sun was darkened in the air because of the dust cloud of the pit." And it reads again. "And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were like darkened by giving of the smoke of the pit. And it reads again. So the atomic bomb that was first introduced by the malevolent beings into New Babylon, America in 1945 AD, in Russia 1949 AD, in Great Britain in 1951 AD, and finally France, one of the heads of the beast in 1960 AD that opened the bottomless pit, making a hole in the planet Earth all the way to the center, and of the pit ascended like a dust cloud, a mushroom smoke from the bomb that could reach as high as 32,000 feet high, just like the dust cloud of a great furnace. An absolute sun was darkened by the smoke, and the air was dense. The air was dense with smoke because of the dust cloud of the pit. The smoke or dust that rose from the pit that blackened the skies was a result of 1,000 exploded oil wells set in the Middle East by Saddam Hussein, president of Iraq military forces, on March 2nd, 1991 AD, and continued to burn up until October 91 AD. As a result, the clouds were covered with a oil-like substance that caused many people to have respiratory problems, like oil ammonia, where the oil smothered the tiny air sacs and lungs, and the air was dense with smoke of the oil wells of Arab world and the fallout from the dust or the bomb's dust. And it reads again. John sees the warplanes, which is being interpreted as locusts and scorpions. Verse 3. There came out of the smoke of the pit crafts that looks like locusts to land upon the planet Earth, and were given authority just like the authority of scorpions upon the planet Earth. And there came out of the smoke of the pit locusts to land upon the planet Earth, and were given authority just like the authority of the scorpions upon the planet Earth. And there came out of the smoke of the pit crafts that looks like locusts to lead upon the planet Earth, and were given authority just like the authority of the scorpions upon the planet Earth. And it reads again. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and to them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. There came out of the smoke of the pit aircraft planes that was interpreted by John, son of Zebedee, and to look like locusts upon or land upon the planet Earth, look like to be locusts to land upon the planet Earth, the same number of locusts who fly in formation were given authority to kill just like the scorpions had the power authority in its tails to cause death with the F-117A shaft fighter plane that also has a sting in its tail in the form of a biological and germ warfare to spread upon the planet Earth. And it reads again. Theos commands all the men to be tormented for 5 months. The evil one displays the vast infantry and aircraft, tankers, and various other ballistics in a war that involves the nations of the earth, World War III. And it goes to verse 3. It goes to verse 4. And it reads, and they were commanded that they should not hurt the grass of the planet Earth, nor any other thing which is given, neither the trees, but only hurt the nation of people who do not have Theos mark in their foreheads. And it reads again. And they were commanded that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, nor the other thing which is given, neither all the trees, but only hurt Hanas people who do not have Allah's mark on their foreheads. And it reads again, and they were commanded that they should not hurt the grass of the planet Earth, nor any other thing that is given, that is green, neither all the trees, but only hurt the nations of Ammonites who do not have Yahweh of the Elohim's mark on their foreheads. And it reads again, and it was commanded that to them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only the men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And it reads again, and the military fighter planes were commanded that they shall not hurt the grass of the planet earth, nor anything which is given or green or vegetation, neither all the trees, but only hurt nations of people. The neutron bomb was designed to hurt people, but without harming building structures. So the bombs were dropped by air bombardment, so the grass will not be affected to destructive habits of pilots, affecting all of those who do not have the mark of Yahweh of the Elohim, the Most High, on their foreheads, that is received through prostration to the ground at the act of humbleness. Let me repeat that one more time. The Most High. Okay, so affecting, let me go rewind back one moment. Okay. Affecting all those who do not have the mark of Yahweh of the Elohim, the Most High, on their foreheads. This is received through prostration. Okay. To the ground as an act of humbleness, which the heavenly ones, Ha Mukaha Lasayana or Lasayana, do consistently before the Sustainer through worship and prayer called Salah, and it is a spiritual communication between the worshiper and El Elo, the heavenly one anew, also called Theos Yahweh and Allah. Verse 5. And it reads, and they were given that they should not kill them. However, they could torment them for 5 months, and their pain was as if a human being is stung by a scorpion. It reads again, and they were given that they should not kill them. However, they should torment them for 5 months, and their pain was as the pain of a human being stung by a scorpion. And they read again, and if they were given that they shall not kill them, but however they should torment them for 5 months, and their pain was as a pain as if it was each male human being, as if it was stung by a scorpion. And it reads again, and to them it was given that they shall not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as a torment of a scorpion, and when he struck a man. And it reads again, one moment, and it reads again, and the military of the beast was commanded that they shall not kill the righteous. All plagues that the Creator will send on the planet Earth will not affect the 144,000, nor will they suffer the effects of radiation, poverty, sickness, and they bore witness to the truth. Because they bore witness to the truth. So let me repeat that one more time. And the military of the beast was commanded that they shall not kill the righteous. All the plagues that the Creator will send on the earth will not affect the 144,000, nor will they suffer the effects of radiation, poverty, sickness, because they bore witness to the truth. However, they can be tormented by the way of the germ warfare for 5 months, and its torture will be slow, painful, and paralyzing, but their pain was as a pain as if a human being is stung by a scorpion. One moment. Alright now. And in these days, Antipas will seek out death, but will not find it. And they will desire death, and death will flee away from them, and reach again. And in those days, Hanas will seek out death, but will not find it. And they will desire death, and death will flee away from them. It reads again. And in these days, the children of Adam will seek out death, but will not find it. And they will desire death, and death will flee away from them. And it reads again. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And it reads again. And in those days, during the period of war, 1990 through 1999 AD, the evil one will be at his fierce attempt to establish his dominion over the whole world, because he knows that his time is almost up. These wars will cause a destruction never seen before on this planet, and for the first time in major warfare, germ warfare will be utilized, and nuclear warfare will be a common factor involved. This war will last for 27 years. The nation of people will seek out death, wanting to die in order to spare themselves the misery, because leaving will become so terrifying, and death will look like because living will become so terrifying, and death will look like a favor when normally people fear death because it is something that they don't understand. But they will not find it because they cannot escape the wrath of El Elam, Anu, the Most High. El, from the fallout from the bombs, and they will desire death, and death will flee away from them by escaping from them, and there will be no compassion on them. And it reads, and the resemblance of these locusts resemble horses prepared for battle. Upon every one of their heads were crowns which were present in gold, and their faces were like the reverence of the faces of the nation of people. And it reads again, and the resemblance of these locusts resemble horses prepared for battle, until every one of their heads were crowned which were present in gold, and their faces were like the resemblance of faces of people. And it reads again, and the resemblance of the locusts were present in horses prepared for battle, and upon every one of their heads were crowns which resembled gold, and their faces were like the resemblance of faces of the nation of Ammonites. And it reads again, and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and their heads were as if it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And the resemblance of these locusts, the military planes of evil one's army, resemble horses prepared for battle, flying in formation. Like they also were representing the 4 horsemen, who are the 4 empires: Babylon, Greek, Roman, European, America, symbolized by intellectual creatures: the lion, the bull, the human being, and the eagle. And upon every one of their heads were crowns which resembled gold, but was in actuality the sun's light shining off the plains, metal bodies in their faces were like the resemblance of the faces of the nations of people because they were drawn on these fighter aircrafts. Verse 8. And their hair was like the hair of women, and their teeth as the teeth of a lion. And their hair was like the hair of women, and their teeth was the teeth of a lion. And their hair was as like a hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And their hair was like the hair of women because of their speedy movement of planes. Propellers created an illusion that appeared as hair to John, and their teeth as the teeth of a lion, which was drawn on these fighter planes. And these are the aircrafts used during World War II, 1939 through 1945 AD. That was known as the Flying Tigers and the A-10 Thunderbolts. Verse 9. And it reads, and they had metal breastplates as the breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like that of sound of chariots and many horses running for battle. And it reads again, and they had metal breastplates as the breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like that of a sound of chariots, meaning that the horses running for battle. And it reads again, and they had metal breastplates as the breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like that of a sound of chariots and many horses running for battle. And they had breastplates, and it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots, meaning the horses running to battle. And they had metal breastplates as the breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like that of the sound of chariots, meaning horses, which is nothing more than the engines of planes running for battle, ready for war. Verse 10. And it reads again, and they had tails which resembled the scorpions, and the stings which is in their tails, and authority was given to them to torment the people for 5 months. And then they had tails which resembled the scorpions, and stings which in their tails, and their authority was given to them to torment people for 5 months. And then they had tails which resembled scorpions, and the stings in their tails, and authorities are given to them to torment the animals for 5 months. And it reads again, and they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was their power was to hurt men for 5 months. And then they had tails which resemble scorpions, and stings which in their tails, and the sting of a scorpion sends its victims to a state of shock. And this is what happened to people when they saw these bombs and missiles that the planes emitted from their tail section, locating at the opening of the bottom of the plane. And authority was given to them to torment the people for 5 months, because the effect of these bombs will last for a period of 150 days. And it reads again, the evil one takes his place as the king over the bottomless pit, the Hades, and commands his army of disagreeable messengers into combat, and the 4 messengers are let loose on earth to destroy man. Verse 11. One moment. Verse 11. And the evil one takes his place as the king over the bottomless pit. Hades commands his army of disagreeable messengers to combat, and the 4 messengers are let loose on earth to destroy man. Verse 11. And it reads, and a ruler who was over them. And a ruler was over them, who is the disagreeable Anglos of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew language is Father Ruin, and in the Greek language Destroyer. And the Melech was over them, who is the Malachi of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew language is the father of ruin, and the Greek language destroyer. And the Melech was over them, who is the Melech of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew language is Abaddon, and in the Greek language is Haphi, Yanu, and it reads, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew language is Abaddon, but in the Greek language, half his name is Bolian. And a ruler, Azazel, who was over them, who is the disagreeable messenger, who is of the bottomless pit, which is his name in Hebrew language is Abaddon. This is a place of destruction where the father of ruin is, and in the Greek language it is called Apollyon, destroyer. Both names being symbolic of the nature of the evil one and are typical of the nations within his domain. And it reads, the sixth trumpet is blown, and the four messengers are let loose. Verse 12. One more plague is past, and behold, two more plagues will come after this. One more plague is past, behold, then there were two more plagues will come after this. And one more plague is past, and behold, two more plagues will come after this. And woe is past, and behold, came two woes more hereafter. One more plague is past, behold, two more plagues, outbreaks of war, will come after this. From 1990 AD, this first plague of war was between the United States, Israel, and Egypt, and Saudi Arabia, and many others. After this was the beginning of the end of the world. There were two more big outbreaks of war heading up into the year 1996 AD. Verse 13. And at 6 Dios blew his trumpet, and I heard one of the voices of the four horns of gold which before the altar of Dios. And the sixth Malachi blew his trumpet, and I heard one of the voices of the four horns of golden altar which is before the sight of Allah. And the sixth Malachi blew his trumpet, and I, John son of Zebedee, heard one of the voices of the four horns of gold which is before the altar of Yahweh of the Elohim. And it reads again, and the sixth angel sounded. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of golden altar which is before God. And the sixth messenger, the cherubim of destruction, blew his trumpet, signaling the beginning of the sixth plague. And I heard one of the voices of the four horns of gold, being the four living creatures, were represented by the four world empires, which is before the altar of the Most High El Elohim. And it reads again, and who had the trumpet loosened four arch messengers, angels, which are bound in the great river Euphrates, saying to the sixth Malachi, who was the trumpet, loosened the four Malachi, which are the bound to the great river Euphrates, saying to the sixth Melech, who had the trumpet, loosened for the four arch messengers Melech, which are found in the great river Euphrates, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loosen the four angels which are bound to the great river Euphrates, saying to the sixth Elohim, a cherubim of destruction, who had the trumpet, loosened for four Elohim arch messengers, Raphael, Uriel, Zuriel, and Israel, which are bound in the great river Euphrates. So this is verse 15. And it reads, "And so he loosened the four angles crafts which were prepared for the hour and appointed day and month, year, so that they can kill 1/3 of the nation of anthropos, the human beings. And so he loosened the four crafts which were prepared for the hour in the appointed day, month, year, so that they could kill 1/3 of the Alnas. And so he loosened the four crafts which were prepared for the four appointed day, month, year, so that they could kill 1/3 of the nation of Anamites. And the four angles were loosened which were prepared for an hour in a day, and a month, year, for to slay the third part of man. And so the sixth messenger loosened the four Anunnaki Elohim crafts to hold back the four winds, so that they will not destroy the earth, which were prepared for the hour, the first half an hour being the year 1940 AD to the year 1970 AD, and in the second half an hour being of the 1970 AD to 2000 AD, in the appointed day and month and year. What was once a year is now a month and a day and an hour, showing that the time is running out, so that they can kill 1/3 of the nation of people." And so it reads again, "The sixth trumpet is blown, and the four messengers are let loose." Verse 16, and it reads, "And when added up, those who were mounted on the horses was 200 million, and I heard the number of them. And when they added them up, those who were mounted horses in 200 million, and I heard the number of them. And when added up, those who were mounted on the horses was 200 million, and I, John, Bar Zebedee, heard the number of them." And I read again, "And the third of the armies of horsemen were 200,000 and thousand, and I heard the number of them. And when added up, those who were mounted on horses was 200 million foot soldiers and tanks, and John, son of Zebedee, heard the number of them. And these are the soldiers of the Edomite army, ready to kill the horses, symbolically representing the armed vehicle tankers, or the tanks, variable for the firepower and ability to move over most kinds of ground." And it reads again, "And this is what I saw: the horses in the vision, and the riders of them had breastplates of fire, blue, sapphire, and yellow sapphire. And the heads of the horses were like the heads of lions. And the fire, smoke, and sulfur came out of their mouths. And this is what I, Yohana, saw: the horses in the vision, and the riders of them had breastplates of fire, blue, sapphire, and yellows. And yellow sulfur. And the heads of the horses were like the heads of lions, and fires and smoke and sulfur came out of their mouths. And this is what I, Yohana, Bar Zebedee, saw: the horses in the vision, and the riders of them had breastplates of fire, blue, sapphire, and yellow sapphire. And the heads of the horses were like the heads of lions, and fire and smoke, sulfur came out of their mouths." And it reads again, "And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and japheth, and brimstone, and their heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone." And it reads again, "And this is what I, John, son of Zebedee, saw: the horses in the vision, and the riders of them had breastplates of fire, blue, sapphire, symbolic of the most deadly and treacherous war devices during military combat, aircrafts made in the form of bombs, which John compared to sting of the scorpions, and yellow sapphire, and the heads of the horses were like the heads of lions, implying that they were extremely bold and noisy, and resulting from the explosion and fire and smoke and sapphire, describing the type of destruction which occurs during the 20th century thermal nuclear war. A fire came out of their mouths, meaning that their weapons were aimed in the front of the tanker, which appeared to have a mouth to John. And it reads again. And the third part of the earth is destroyed as the 200 million troops of the world battle in the earth. And it goes into verse 18. And it reads, and from these three, a third of these struck the nation of people who were killed by the fire and the smoke and the sapphire which came out of the mouth. And from there, a third of these struck the people were killed by the fire and smoke and sapphire which came out of their mouths. And from the third part of this struck the nation of people, Adamites were killed by the fire, and the smoke and sapphire came out of their mouths. By these three was the third part of the man killed by the fire and the smoke, as by sapphire which issued out of their mouths. And from these three, the empires which were waged the last war, the United States with Russia, Gog and Magog, Amorites, Jebusites, and Arabs, kings of the earth, Middle East, China, the dragon, Edomites. A third of those struck on the nation of people were killed by the fire and the smoke and sapphire which came out of their mouths. And because of the power of these horses was in their mouths and their tails, because of their tails resembled serpents, and it had heads, and with this did hurt, because of the power of the horses which were in their mouths and their tails, because of their tails resembled serpents and had heads, with these did hurt, and because the power of these horses were in the mouths and their tails, because their tails resembled serpents and it had heads, and with this it did hurt. And from their power in the mouth and in their tails were likened to serpents, and their heads with them they did hurt. And because the power of the strength of the emanation of these horses were in their mouths, which were tankers, and submit their weapons from the cannon type protrusion, and in their tails in airplanes, which submit their weapons from underside of their tail section, because their tail resembles reptilians, and it had heads which were long guns with the front of their tankers that submit flame, and throwers with these did hurt, killing many people, although Dios inflicted man with numerous wraths for his evil ways, he still does not repent. Verse 20. And as for the rest of the nation of people who were not killed by these plagues and did not repent from the works of their hands, that they shall not prostrate to Satan, idols, or gold and silver and brass and stone and wood, which neither can see, can't hear, nor even talk. And it reads again, and as for those rest of the people who were not killed by these plagues and did not repent from the works of their hands, that they shall not prostrate to the physical devil, idols of gold and silver and brass and stone, and worship which neither can see, can't hear, nor walk. And as for the rest of the nation of Adamites who were not killed by Eloh's plagues, did not repent from the works of their hands, that they shall not prostrate to the calves and idols of gold and silver, brass, stone, wood, which neither can see, can't hear, nor even talk. And the rest of these men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they shall not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone, and of the wood, and neither that can see, nor hear, nor walk. And as for the rest of the nation of people who were not killed by the plagues, and still do not repent from the disagreeable works of their hands, that they shall not prostrate to the physical evil one, reptilian, the idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and wood, which neither can see, can't hear, nor even walk. Verse 21. And it reads, nor did they repent of their murders, and not even from the works of black magic, and not from their fornication, and not from their theft. And it reads again, neither repented neither repented they or that their murders, neither repented of their or that their murders, nor their sorceries, nor or their fornications, nor of their thefts. And it reads again, nor did the physical devils repent of their murders, and not even from their works of magical arts, and not from their fornication that takes place in the lustful society of America, New Babylon, and not from their theft. And that right there is the end of that chapter. So, again, I posted this chapter on my channel as well. Alright now. So again, I posted that chapter that I just read, chapter 9, on my channel. So, if you are interested and will get a better read by, of course, reading it yourself, because, yeah, my voice may be a little raspy, right? Okay. You can check it out for yourself on my channel and send it to yourself and read for yourself. And you'll see for yourself. And that is so much better, right? One moment. Okay, so for now, family, I'm gonna leave it at that. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. Again, know that you are loved beyond this world. I hope you know. Begin to spread the love one to another. Be the peace that you seek. Release our Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi Seer. Out. I love you. Peace. Shalom. Hashud. Divine love. And why do? And it is all.